Actually for both of you, Carter and Tess. Just can you speak to the challenges they presented defensively? Obviously for you, Carter, inside, and then Tess, if you can kind of talk about just what it was like trying to, shake free and create opportunities for yourself on the perimeter.
Yeah, well, I think they guarded the three-point line pretty well. They weren't really doubling, and they were staying attached, so our posts were able to go to work. They were crowding a little bit, and so, yeah, it just was what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they have some pretty big post players. So for me, at least, it's more of just trying to finish around them instead of over them. But yeah, I mean, they're really good players.
I think y'all limited to either of y'all. I think y'all limited Juju Watkins to her lowest point total of the season, but they ended up with 5 players in double figures. Just how much of a factor was their depth and what they could bring off the bench?
Yeah, they definitely have a deep bench that scores. So obviously our focus was limiting Juju, but then that next step for us, I think, is, like you said, taking out those other players and not letting them go off because, there's 5 people on the court. So it's a team sport, and that's something that we'll continue to get better at.
You guys were with them for a quarter and a half, it felt like, got within 3, and just a couple missed opportunities to kind of fully get over the hump. What did you guys feel just kind of lacked in that stretch there? I think went 1 of 3 when it was 23-20 and then 25-22, and they were just able to close that first half strong. Just what do you guys feel lacked during that kind of final 4 minutes plus?
Well, obviously we had 24 turnovers, so that hurt us. And I think during those critical moments, even though, we might not have scored and we had a couple empty possessions, they capitalized off those empty possessions. So it's on us. We have to get back in transition. We emphasized getting 3 back on defense, and we didn't execute that plan to the best of our ability. So, just staying focused on, what our plan is and executing that. And so that was the biggest thing that lacked.
All right, we have time for one more question for the athletes.
Just regarding the turnovers, I think 17 of them were off steals. Just what do they do defensively that makes it so difficult to kind of protect the basketball?
I think just they applied a lot of pressure both in the half court and full court. Our press break execution could have been a lot better, and then just making better decisions in the half court.
Coach, I think the 24 turnovers, that was the season high. I mean, just can you speak to one of the challenges that USC brings defensively and just how you thought your team handled, their pressure?
Yeah, I think early on they got after us a little bit. I felt like we settled in and were able to, handle it a little bit better. And then they turned it up. I think maybe it was in the third quarter. And I don't think that we did a great job of executing our press break and things that we had worked on kind of leading into the game. And at the same time, I think, obviously they're not ranked as high as they are in having the season they've had, and they've got a lot of length and quickness, both on the perimeter and inside. And so I think that really gave us problems at times, and I think at other times we handled it pretty well. But it's definitely something we talk about. Those are the things that we can control, right, is our turnovers and our shot selection. And so we didn't do a good enough job of that this evening.
I think Williams was 0 for 7 in the first 7 minutes, and then the rest of the first half she was arguably the best player on the floor. Just what caused the struggles early, and just how do you feel about the way she kind of bounced back from that after the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think, it's adrenaline probably somewhat. I can only speculate. wasn't in their head. But I think that there's probably some adrenaline. I think there's probably some kind of feeling out how they're going to defend. Are they going to bring a double? They're not going to bring a double. And I think she rushed it a bit at the beginning. And I think as she started to kind of settle in there, she was able to really get more into a rhythm and I think, feel more comfortable within what she was doing. And I also think some of the shots she took early on were a little bit more challenging shots. Some not. Some she missed some bunnies. That can also go to, rattling you a little bit at the beginning. But as you said, at times she looked like, the best player on the floor. And I think she's an excellent post player, one of the best in the country. And, I think she continues to show night in, night out her value to our team in this program.
Thank you. USC had a lot of size on their whole roster, and I was just sort of wondering how that affected how you guys wanted to game plan defensively, because you guys do have much smaller guards than they did.
Well, I mean, Ronnie Porter is a big body. You know what I mean? No. I think, thank you. I'll be here all week. No, I think, we were really trying to play team defense and really kind of create more walls, be almost like two defenders for every one player of theirs, and force them to take tough shots. And I think at different periods that was really effective, and then other periods, I think honestly the transition is really what got us even more than our turnovers, and then they were able to convert into transition. But when we were in the half court, I felt like we did. I'll go back and watch the film, but I thought we did a pretty decent job considering how long their guards were, fighting through, giving help from our post players, being able to help off Marshall, and kind of having a free roamer there as well. So, I think there was. For what we do have, I think that we tried to use to the best of our ability. Yeah.
Coach, Juju Watkins you guys held her to a season low tonight, and I think a lot of that came on the back of Natalie's effort. Just what impressed you about her job being able to limit one of the top scorers in the nation who's led them in scoring pretty much every single game this year?
Yeah, I think, as I just said, it was Nat did an excellent job, and there was other players, whether Dee or Hal came in to spell Nat. But I think, it was also a team effort, and, trying to contain her. And, she's an unbelievable player, and what I tried to really emphasize with the team is this is an excellent team, right? She's one player, but they have other really, really good players. And I think on any given night, any of them can go off. And so I'm proud of the defensive effort that we had, understanding, though, that we also have to continue to be able to defend those other players as well. But I think Nat did an excellent job, and I think she's kind of been a steady Eddie, or Betty, as you say, for us all season.
Coach, one thing that Tess said before you came in was how strong they were on the perimeter defense, but you guys were still able to go 6 of 8 from beyond the arc. Can you just talk about what challenge they presented at the perimeter and how you guys were able to overcome it?
Yeah, I think where we really started to have some more success, especially kind of going into the end of the first into the second, was getting in on penetration and kicks, and so then that's where some of our open threes were coming from, and our shooters kind of had their feet set, and also being able to attack in transition, get into the lane, and kick as well. And so we knew that was going to be opportunities that we had. I wish we would have taken more than 8 threes. I think that's might be a season low for us, or even, and so giving ourselves more opportunities there to obviously get 3 points. But I think being able to have such a strong post presence with Sarah and Carter and playing in and out has really been our calling card here since we got back from our West Coast swing. And so something that we have to continue to do. And, Lily Cron is an excellent 3-point shooter for us and didn't take one tonight. And so some of it is the way the game was played, but some of it is scouting, right? They know that she can make threes, and not allowing her to get that off. And she was able to kind of get some mid-range stuff as well, which was good.
All right, we have time for one more. All right.
Okay.
Well, we are good.
Thank you all so much.